Welcome to Live from Sparkwood and 21. This series chronicles the 1990s cult classic Twin Peaks, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. Joining me on this journey are superfans. Last Call with Troy Pacelli, Netter's Network, and Aged Boomer. In this week's episode, Donna Hayward finally meets the mysterious Harold Smith. Does he hold the key that will unlock the mystery behind Laura Palmer's death? Or does he have something to hide? Slide into a booth at the Double R Diner and order a damn fine cup of coffee and a heavenly slice of cherry pie as we watch and discuss Episode 3 of Season 2, The Man Behind the Glass. Already in the chat, we have Faithful Blue Wrench and the Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary. Evelyn Hampton, reply, Admiral. D. Myers Jr. Host of Films with Friends and the creator of the 10-Word Review, Big Al Presents. My co-hosts are waiting backstage, so I'm going to bring them on. Last Call with Troy Pacelli, Netter's Network, and Aged Boomer. Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
All right. Now, of course, in tonight's episode, we get to meet the character of Harold Smith, played by the great character actor Lenny Von Dolan, who is, of course, Boomer's icon for this series. And recently, Boomer put together a tribute video to him, and we would like to play that right now.
Now, of course, we covered this a bit on Friday. I don't know if we were going to... Did you want to cover this here, the Twin Peaks actor? Or?
Yeah. We actually, I did, because of a hiccup and the complete collapse of Canada this weekend, I was unable to bring in my special guest on Friday stream. So last minute, Deleted Scenes jumped in and we did a rewatch of Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, kind of to honor Lenny Von Dolan, who played Harold Smith in that show, reclusive character. Very, very small role in that particular movie, but a lot of fans probably remember him better as Miles, or as the computer calls him, Moles, in Electric Dreams. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're a kid of the 80s, you remember that one very fondly, where he played opposite the very beautiful Virginia Madsen. That's another one I think we'll have to do a rewatch of sometime real soon.
I don't think I've ever seen Electric Dreams.
Oh, it's good. You'd really enjoy it. Very kind of its time, kind of those what would you call it? The computer fantasies, I suppose. It's like kind of on the level of like war games and stuff. It's like, that's not how computers work, but okay, let's go with it.
Oh, looks like in TV it says Von Dolan also starred in Kent State, 30-something, Picket Fences, Chicago Hope, The Lazarus Man, The Pretender, CSI Miami, and Don't Touch, directed by Beau Bridges. What was The Lazarus Man?
That I don't know. That one is not on my radar. And although I did see Chicago Hope, I don't remember it very clearly.
It
And
was
he was one of those kind of actors. He showed up in a lot of things, and you probably would recognize his face, but you might not recognize the name.
He strikes me as an actor that would have been on 30 something.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I remember him from Twin Peaks. He was the man who was, what was it, agoraphobic? Is that what you said? He couldn't leave.
He was agoraphobic, and the whole subplot where Laura is working the Meals on Wheels program for the Double R Diner. There's several people that she meets along the way. It was kind of her. It's kind of tragic. She's trying to do something good for the community because she feels there's this horrible evil that is in her that she's trying to, in some small way, compensate for. One of the people she meets along the way is this character of what was it, Henry Smith?
I think so.
And he's a young guy. He's not obviously infirm. But yeah, he's agoraphobic. He's afraid to leave his house. He's afraid of crowds, open spaces, all that kind of thing. And what's really tragic in the portrayal in Fire Walk with Me is she comes to he's become like a confidant because he doesn't interact with anyone else. He makes a great person for her to, be like her confessor, and tell about all the torment she's going through. And he wants to help, but he can't, but he can listen. He even takes her diary when, she knows that someone's been reading it, and she says, keep this safe. And he does, which becomes a big plot point going forward within Twin Peaks. But there's this great, on the last day of her life, she, comes to him crying, and he wants to help her. And she says, she says something that implies, something bad's going to happen to her. And she runs out, and he wants to run after her, but he gets stopped at the door like there's this invisible barrier. And it is this obvious torture for him. And Von Dolen just played it so well, this portrayal of just the torture of the inability to break the bonds of his, phobia. And he wants to help this girl so badly. It's very, very touching.
The Lazarus Man, Robert Urich Civil War era Western. A Secret Service agent is framed in the conspiracy to kill President Lincoln and must clear his name. That sounds interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
Let me see. He has an upcoming movie, though, I wanted to bring up. Let me see. Van Dolen recently appeared with Sally Kirkland, Jennifer Tilly, and Keith Carradine in the upcoming indie comedy Sallywood, now in post-production. So you can still see him in one last role if you look for that movie. So, sad to see him go.
Unknown cause of death, but apparently it was a long illness. So it was a known thing. It is too bad. And
Sallywood?
Just for the record, Sallywood is still in post-production. It has not.
What the heck, man?
Well,
it could have been because of the strikes.
Yeah, there was a little strike.
Well, don't you know, editing takes a really, really long time.
It can. It really can take a long time. Trust me, we know from experience, don't we? Oh, my gosh.
I do not want to ignore the chat because we have had a couple of new people enter. Lady V Elements. And we have someone who is new to the chat, Obnoxious and Anonymous. I have looked up his channel, and apparently it is a Twin Peaks-centric channel. So
I saw that.
thank you for being here and getting a look at our show. I also want to
have to subscribe to that channel for sure.
Indeed.
I already have, and I'm going to drop a link to
As
it
have I.
right now.
Please do. Dee Dee Myers says, loved Electric Dreams. Been a while.
You know what? I may have seen this channel before. I may have seen some of these videos. I don't know why I hadn't subscribed already. I should have done.
Well, Obnoxious and Anonymous, you're about to get some more subscribers.
Yep.
I subscribed. It looks like my husband's about to subscribe. And deleted scenes and probably H Boomer. And
yes.
in the chat. So
make sure everybody subscribes to each other.
I did drop the link.
Especially the newcomer on the block, because you might not have seen him before. Please, together we grow, right?
Absolutely.
Indeed.
So, there we go. All right. Let's see. Do we need any other preamble? I was as we were getting into that, I was like, man, I don't remember what we said 2 years ago, and oh my gosh, I hope we don't give away any spoilers. I don't think we have, because we did.
No.
We already did talk about the fact that Harold gets the diary just before, just before the ending of Fire Walk with Me, really. Which also would be just before the beginning of the pilot episode of Twin Peaks. So yeah. The thing about Twin Peaks is there are elements of beautiful innocence, and there are also just terrible tragedies. And I mean, I guess when it comes right down to it, that's kind of what life is, isn't it? So, but it's reality. I guess that some, however, have greater tragedies than others. But anyway, there we go. So, I think that's all the preamble I wanted to get in there.
Yeah, but yes, yeah, it looks he had a good career. I think I mean, he's one of those faces you recognize him.
And if we were to do this for every character that their actor passed away in Twin Peaks, it would get challenging.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that was one thing that they did with season 3. It seems like every episode was dedicated to someone because they passed either just before the release of the series or literally during the series. It was just amazing. But yeah, this is what happens when you're going back a couple decades looking at a series, I suppose. Thankfully, I met many of these individuals. So, what can you do? Okay, let me go ahead and start getting this ready for you guys.
All right. I want to take this time to remind everyone that the Cosme link to tonight's episode is pinned to the top of the chat. I see we already have some people in Cosme joining us. I would also like to say hello to everyone who is following along on my Twitter feed as well. Come on in, join the party, hit the Cosme link at the top of the chat, and get ready. And say hello to JPRPH1. Good evening. He's already joining us in Cosme as well.
Working on the share part. Give me just a second here. Screen share. So 20. Entire screen.
I do want to remind everyone, especially those of you who might be new to the show and to my channel, we do the show every Tuesday at 8:30
Sorry about
p.m.
that, guys. That's my fault on my end. Give me a second.
We're good.
I've got a tab open that shouldn't be. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, technical difficulties.
Quite all right. All right.
And okay, I'm ready when you are. Finally. I'm sorry.
It
Quite
happens.
all right. It happens indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 3 of season 2, The Man Behind the Glass. Beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We start out with Flappy.
I read an unfortunate story online about what happened to Flappy.
Uh-oh, what?
He ended up mistakenly he ended up getting cooked as a 2-piece with a biscuit at a Roy Rogers franchise restaurant.
I
It was a
heard
horrible
that was one of the
mistake.
rumors. Yeah. We'll have to do at the end of the season 2, we'll have to do the Flappy special.
Are there all sorts of urban legends around Flappy?
There's some rumors, yeah.
Okay. I haven't been to a Roy Rogers in a long time. How about you, deleted scenes? Ever venture into a Roy Rogers restaurant?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
Yeah, neither have I.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think we have them around here.
Yeah. Maybe
We don't either. No.
Explain it.
It was a Northeast thing. They would have burgers and fried chicken. They used to have like a
both kinds
burger.
of fast food.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were fancy because when you'd go there, you get your burger, then you could fix it up like they had a fixings bar. You know, you get lettuce and tomato and put whatever you wanted on it. You know, as it should be.
And of course, at the end of last week's episode, Ronette woke up and
They showed her a picture of Bob and she flipped out.
Well, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
she's still flipping out.
She's in a bad way.
He is creepy.
CDTs. Yes. We have another guest star coming up tonight I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome, Anonymous Anteater. As I'm watching the chats pop up from Cosme.
Hello.
And they're both like, okay.
Yeah, we all eventually get visited by a giant Harry, and we just never told you.
Right, exactly. You're the only one missing out.
Okay. Make him over there. Okay.
I'm already getting a Norman Bates vibe, but maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is an element of that.
Yes, I always ask my guests, would you like to wash your hands?
And offer them saltines.
And apple butter.
Well, I'm wondering, do you put the apple butter on the saltines, or are they to be
Yes.
ingested separately?
I would hope so, because I don't see.
No, you slather the apple butter on the crackers, and you got a little like snacky thing.
You would expect Harold to be a little awkward since he doesn't socialize. Yeah, well, wait till 2020. Nosy thing.
That looks important. I'm curious, does he sell plants?
Does he? He's a horticulturalist, so he studies them. I don't know if he sells them.
Yeah, I read the diary. Oh.
She wasn't always flattering to Donna in that diary.
True.
No.
Of course, she wasn't always nice to her in person either.
That's true.
Yes, he does seem like a sweetie, and it's not a spoiler to say he pretty much is. He is someone you should have sympathy for.
Sensitive
Yes.
man. Like in the real sense word, the real meaning of the word, not the
Right.
modern.
Mhm. Like, that's not weird or anything?
Right.
Mhm.
You need that.
Gross.
Ah, it was Bond. I knew it.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Uh,
Ah! That seems like a real 180 for him. I've never.
I know, right?
That's never sat well with me. It's like, the heck?
That or he's just messing with him and he's laughing as he's walking out of the room.
Maybe.
Albert's one of those guys who's like, I hate violence, but I need to get into a fight.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's impressive.
I used to be pretty good at this.
We used to do those in grade school.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Suddenly, into the shop.
Just a dapper man walking in.
Yeah.
Could he put any more grease in his hair?
It's hair jelly.
Okay, now that's a creepy smile.
A little dab will do ya. I guess he didn't feel like that was enough.
Think it back to our brother Art there, where
Yeah.
George Clooney's character kept hunting for hair gel. He needed a particular brand. That was Is this the weirdness for weirdness sake right here?
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, we're starting to get into it here, yeah.
Oh,
my God.
Really? You're not going to pay for her lunch?
it's so bad. Mm-hmm.
Biden. Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Robertson?
Bobby.
Now, the interesting thing about how Bob is dressed, he could be from almost any time period, right? Or at least from the 20th century.
Good point.
Think about it. So perhaps there's some truth to this, yeah.
Wow. Good shot.
Bad.
He's positive, yeah.
You get this feeling that Cooper has a certainty that he really shouldn't have.
Hmm.
Okay, those mashed potatoes look good.
They do.
Strike two, Richie.
I know,
It's
right?
like, can he be any more pretentious?
And boring.
Can I hazard a guess since I don't remember? Is he the one that shot Cooper?
You wish.
Could we just say he did, and then
Yeah, yes.
Just have someone tell Cooper he did, and
yeah,
be as sincere about it as you can, and maybe he'll just arrest him.
yeah, I saw that fella.
I mean, who would wear a cravat with that shirt?
Oh, that's a nice.
Not so loud.
Pancake plantation. Is that like the National House of Pancakes or something?
I would imagine. Cheap date, in other words.
International.
Wow.
Well, $3 whole. Thanks.
Uh-oh.
So a couple people turn around and look like, she said, what now?
Oh, Prager's existed back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Preggers has been around for a while. You youngin' you.
I remember that, yeah.
Theme, yeah. I always thought he would have made for a great spin-off show.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking, hey, I'm available. This doesn't work out.
Right, exactly. Evelyn, Lucy's date is beyond pitiful. Absolutely true.
Older, available. Been quite a day at the Double R. Meanwhile,
It's scenes like that remind you that they're teenagers,
yeah.
She really, doesn't take responsibility for the relationship on her end. And she doesn't, bother to take the time to figure out what's actually going on. She just jumps to conclusions.
I said it.
Get that needle away.
Yeah.
I don't like needles.
Yikes.
Hmm. Uh-oh. He didn't like that picture.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember what he was taking?
Oof.
Was it prescription or was it self-medication?
Wow.
That's okay.
Well, he was at the hospital. That would suggest that maybe it was a prescription. I don't remember for sure.
Well, if nothing else, she has the right to have an attorney present. Yeah, he
Damn,
knows
Coop.
what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Wait, what? Huh?
Wait, what?
That's nice. Thank you for stopping by.
That's funny.
Okay, I'm going to go with self-medicating at this point.
Hmm.
Well, the other possibility was antipsychotic.
Is it done?
Yeah, as far as
You
seeing
know
it
I
goes.
can't do the needle thing.
He didn't stick himself. He
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course, you never quite know what this guy do you?
Right.
No.
Is he gonna? Yeah, which mic are we speaking to right now?
He's got a weird voice there.
Yeah. And of course, the band. Oh, and cheerleader's great. Sorry. Yeah, this
And,
guy.
Did you see Renfield?
Not yet. No.
Okay. Okay. There's a joke to be made in there, but you have to see Renfield first.
Okay.
There's always trouble at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of seeing that coming already.
We call
Let's
up
see.
Chino, say, hey, let's go for round 2, you know.
But he obviously, it's
Sorry.
like, you had one girl die, one girl in a coma, and you're not more worried about your daughter? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, 2 if you count Teresa.
He doesn't.
But yeah, he does. He
Horn
doesn't.
wouldn't know about Teresa, right?
Would he?
I don't.
Ah, here we
think so.
go. Then came Bronson.
That's one of the Renault brothers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Michael Parks.
But liquor is quicker. Lady V says, ew.
Yeah.
Well, it would be more ew if it had been the other way around.
And I get to see needles on 3 screens, so I'm changing one of these screens so I don't have to look at needles.
Okay. I think he just ruined caramels.
Caramel for me. No. Mm-hmm. RoboCop 2 and Point Break. Yeah, don't you know it?
Palmer House, that's a hotel downtown Chicago.
Yes, it is.
Mm.
They had good prime rib.
Dun dun dun.
Hmm.
But that depends on whether it's Mike or Philip Gerard.
Like that. Is that an out of order sign on that toilet?
Yep.
Yes, because it's literally broken. There's no edges to that urinal.
Yep. Yeah, he never got a chance to inject himself, did he?
No.
That is going to be really uncomfortable after a while. They can at least do her restraints a little bit further down.
And then he breaks into Firestarter.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Fire starter.
Because I think Prodigy should be in the show. Sorry.
Look. Oh no.
So romantic.
But he's got such a great voice, you know?
Mm. Oh. Ow.
It's like, ow.
Man down. Oh, yeah.
She literally broke her chains. Nadine's got superpowers.
Back to her cheerleader days.
Yep.
Yep.
What? In your case, twice.
Yep.
And she does appear in the yearbook.
We appear at the yearbook.
Yes, we do. She was in our graduating class.
You're going to have to do snips of that. And
I am, yeah.
To show.
Meanwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This must be a private wing of the hotel. Or the hospital. Oh, they're at his office, aren't they?
No, they're in the hospital. She's pretty. It's like, okie dokie, I'm holding a stone.
Yeah.
Is that the healing power of crystals or something like that?
No, it's probably just a focus for him.
But he just took off his glasses.
And we'll put a flag on the end to give you freaking hope.
Right. Oh, right, Robin Williams.
Yeah. He's almost falling asleep here. It's working!
Looks like
This
he's about to
on the wrong guy.
Yes.
Hey, stroke it over there, buddy.
Oh.
No stroking on this this stream.
Okay.
So they must be pulling some sort of scam.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows.
Or they're
between
friends
that
of
guy.
Hovis.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that don't help none.
Yeah. We could use a little more.
So now.
Oh, that's a good point. Ouch. She's starting to sound like Laura. Well, you keep treating them like that, you're definitely going to.
But did she bring the lily?
Yeah. She put it on the grave. Yeah, that's exactly it. The way she got that strength and courage, you would not want. We still are, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, because in a lot of ways, she's not really gone.
No, she's right there, just with a wig.
Did they ever show his mother?
I actually don't remember.
Now he's got her going after him.
Yeah, but that's got to screw you up in the head, right? Because you know, in part of his mind, he's still seeing her resemblance to Laura.
Like, you broke my lamp.
Well, because you're kind of an idiot.
There's the lights.
Sparkwood 21.
Sparkwood 21.
But
Take
in
a
all
drink.
fairness, it's kind of like what Donna was saying, right? You know, they're all having to deal with all their own stuff and Laura's stuff, and each one of them has so much on their shoulders. You might want to make yourselves available to each other. Otherwise, they're going to find someone else. In case you didn't catch it, that's because Dr. Jacoby recognized him. Oh, Lady V, it gets much more complicated and much more worse.
Harold Smith, and damn it, why do we keep letting these kids in here?
I know, right? That lemonade sounded good.
Yeah, everyone likes lemonade.
I can make you orange juice. That's about it. Well, actually, I think I still have one lemon. So I suppose I feasibly can make you lemonade.
No, that's okay.
And there it is.
Yep. Yup.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of weird for it to just be out like that, but I suspect he was probably reading it.
Well, why wouldn't he?
I mean, yeah, she's dead. Might as well. And she did entrust him with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think she ever said don't read it. And that's the other thing too. He's not used to having company, so leaving something out like that, he wouldn't think twice about it.
Sure.
But yeah. So things are getting kind of dicey for a number of the characters. So Leland is now in jail because, and this wasn't a spoiler for anything because we did see him, murder Jacques Renault. Now, ostensibly, that was because it was his understanding that, or he was under the belief that Renault was responsible for Laura's death, which still remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that seems to be his motivation. We also have you've got the soap opera elements, right? Where you've got the love triangle with Lucy and Richard and Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably Richard being the father of her child. You've got the other triangle of Maddie and Donna and James, also potentially complicated by Harold, but Harold is very complicated, so that's really going to complicate things. You'll see more about that as we go. And what else am I missing? I think that covers. Oh, of course, and then of course
Audrey.
Let's not forget Audrey, now becoming addicted to heroin, and
Nadine thinking she's 18.
True.
Yeah.
Right. And interestingly, not saying to Ed, "Why do you look so old?" Just, "Oh, we're still in high school," right? Which actually, ironically, of all of this, that may be the most normal thing going on here. That regression, that fugue state. She's been under so much stress, she literally tried to self-delete. So now she's regressed to the one time when she was happiest, right?
Mm-hmm.
That actually kind of makes sense, right? But the awakened cheerleader, yeah, exactly. That was trippy. But now we really have to worry about Audrey because Jean said we can't let her live.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be
murder.
Yeah, there might be a bit of an accidental on purpose overdose in her future.
He just wants to get the money.
And Albert loves Sheriff Truman. Yes, yes, he does. In a very, very bizarre sort of way. Albert is
Albert.
It's like in this episode, Albert was actually more bizarre than Nadine.
Everyone's bizarre. So what about Dapper Dan, whatever the guy's name is?
Richard.
Richard. What do you think of him?
Just remember, he's a dick.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
He has a mnemonic for remembering people's orders. I have a mnemonic for remembering his name.
Yeah, just shorten Richard.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
That's like Troy has an uncle Richard, and his wife, and there's somebody else that calls him Dick. I can't. I just can't. It's like, nope, you're Richard.
Richard.
For Richard, the term feckless comes to mind, and I think that's going to bear out more over the next couple episodes.
Okay, well, he seems like a refined gentleman.
He seems. Yeah, see, but that's the interesting thing, right? I mean, I called out the cravat with the plaid shirt. Then she says, "I'm pregnant." He goes, "Preggers, huh?" I mean, there's you see cracks in the foundation there. So you start to realize, you know what? It's he's putting on airs. It's all a facade he's putting up. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But there you go. Did we cover everything? I mean, I think the mystery elements were pretty straightforward today. The relationship elements are at least clear enough from a narrative standpoint. They're convoluted as soap operas get, but it's the way you'd expect.
I like soap operas. Sort of.
And there's one other exchange that I want to I kind of want to pick at a little bit with you guys. So there was that exchange between Horn and Cooper, and it's very clear that, at least from our perspective, we see Agent Cooper as being, the straight man, the above board, Boy Scout, right?
Yes.
He when Audrey tries to come on to him, what does he do? He's like, you know what? You need to get dressed. You gotta not do this. I'm not gonna take advantage of a teenage girl. I'm very fond of you, but not in that way. Kind of that Clark Kent kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Captain America, that sort of thing.
Or Captain America, sure. That's a great example too.
Steve Rogers, yeah.
And but Horn, who should be more concerned that his daughter has gone missing now, it is true. She has taken off. She has disappeared for lengths of time. This is something he's used to. But as Cooper tries to point out, under these circumstances, you should be more concerned about her. This is not like every other time that she's gone missing. This could be very, very serious. It does, and it does seem to go to how little he seems to care about his daughter, right? How she, we saw it when we were going through Laura's diary, and whatnot. Kind of got it too, in some of the earlier scenes in the first season, that she was jealous of Laura's relationship with her father. It's like he cared more about Laura than he did about her. That's why she would act out to try and get her father's attention, right? It's a very dysfunctional kind of thing. But what does he do? He immediately implies that Cooper has some sort of, not exactly kosher intentions towards Audrey.
Right.
Which I think Cooper has a very complicated reaction to. On the one hand, he's been completely above board, so he takes offense at it, right? But he also seems a little bit stricken and he takes a little bit of that accusation, as though there's merit to it. That could just be, his feelings are complicated when it comes to Audrey, but we're going to learn more about Cooper's backstory, and there is some foreshadowing to later story during the this second season. So I'm not going to spoil it, just let you know that there's more coming up, that Cooper himself has a bit of a history as well.
So we got a surprise at the end. Like, is there going to be an arrest happening? I don't know.
Well, we've had one arrest. We know that they've pulled in Leland because they have what do they call it? Sufficient probable cause. Yeah, well, sufficient evidence to suggest that he was responsible for the murder of Jacques Renault. They've got a witness. Although the use of hypnosis for memory is, I'm not sure how that would hold up in court, but maybe it's enough to get an arrest warrant. And they are starting to think about the fire at the sawmill as being insurance related. I feel like the evidence that they got in this episode was circumstantial at best, but let's just give it to Cooper that he read the script so he knows what's going on.
And so what do we think of Harold?
See, this is where I struggle, because I think I've kind of already given away some spoilers by telling Lady V that it's okay to sympathize with him and see him as the good guy. But he is odd. He is awkward. You're gonna find, this isn't a big spoiler because it comes right at the beginning of next episode. He's got a bit of a temper when it comes to don't touch something you shouldn't touch, especially something I was entrusted with. But the long and the short of it is he kind of has every right, and he is taking responsibility for the duty that he took on by taking Laura's diary and her faith in him. So I would be the same way. It's interesting so far. I'm glad that you are enjoying it. I think he's adorable. Yes. Yes. He is adorable, and you should have a great deal of sympathy for him, as he's going to point out. He says, "J'ai une âme solitaire." I am a lonely soul. So you should also maybe have a little bit of compassion for him too. Personally, yes, as much as I have sympathy for Harold Smith, I also do for James. I think he's being treated a little unfair here. He's very sensitive and vulnerable, right? But of all of them, he's the one who tries to come off as cool and like he's got it all together, but he's struggling. And instead of the people that care about him, having empathy and sympathy, they're just thinking about themselves and they're lashing out,
Mm-hmm.
Or in Maddie's case, more she turns more into herself and more grief, right? Because she knows it's an awkward circumstance, and things. I guess Donna kind of summed it up really well when she said we're still dealing with your problems. That's even a little unfair, because they're not just her problems. These problems you'll find predate Laura. Bob, if you take it at face value at what Leland said, he was around a whole generation before Laura came along, right?
Right.
But little teaser, he's been around longer than that. A lot longer.
I know what you're talking about.
The Bookhouse Boys were talking about something in the woods. It's always been there. So,
Yeah. But we're not going to go too deep into that.
Self-centered, whole world is themselves. Yes. And and I was kind of trying to get at that earlier. I'm glad you brought that back up again. Because especially this season, this is a much longer season. Some more than others, but there is going to be a great deal of growth that you see in all the characters, but especially the teenage characters. To the point where at least a couple of them are very different people by the end of the series. And it really will leave you wondering, are they in season 3? What became of them? Did they continue on that trajectory? What happened to them? There's a lot of great payoffs in season 3. I'll just say that. Okay.
Well, you certainly let one of the there was like a minor spoiler that you let go. I think it was when we were might have been backstage.
I hope so. So let's not bring it up
where
again.
You said, no, we that was to me really intriguing because it would have been a complete 180 for this character, and I'd like to know how they got to that point.
Yeah, well, and going through season, I don't feel like, if you're paying attention in season 2, I don't feel like when you find out where the characters are in season 3, I don't think there are many huge surprises. Initially, you might be like, what? Really? But then when you think it through, you're like, okay, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. You know?
Yeah, just 15 more weeks till season 3. Damn it!
Chomping at the bit, right?
I wanted Jump Ahead so bad.
Well, we have to do Fire Walk with Me,
I
and
was
also
just
the
gonna
missing and the missing pieces, right? Is the missing pieces
Yes.
another thing? You know what the missing pieces is, Troy?
Yes, because
Yeah.
when that watch party that we did of Fire Walk with Me, that's mentioned in the 2022 video you showed earlier, it was the fan edit of Fire Walk with Me that included the missing pieces, right? But then there's also the Diane, the audio tapes of Dale Cooper and his authorized biography. I thought we were going to look at those too. So
Oh yes.
Don't be rushing to the end.
See, Lady
Deleted
B
scenes.
says I'm still playing catch up, so 15 weeks is fine. Yeah, How are you doing it? Are you pacing yourself watching an extra episode a week, or what are you doing, Lady V? Just curious how you're catching up. But
And for anyone who does not have their own copy or hasn't been watching along with us, Twin Peaks is available on Paramount Plus. So check it out.
for now,
And
make sure
for
you
now,
get the physical media, because you never
but get
know.
the physical media. Yeah.
I binged till 5 a.m. Oh my gosh!
We've done that.
Wow.
Yikes! And then you're gonna sleep for 15 weeks? No. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So
It's interfering with my stalker swag.
there was no Andy in this episode.
No.
Right. They specifically mentioned that he was staying away because he didn't want to be there when Richard showed up.
Yeah,
I
because,
dig it. He's
Puck
jealous.
said something about, is this why Andy took a sick day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it could also be because he clonked himself in the face with a board. he's
Yeah.
he's
That
a little
too.
concussed right now.
Nah.
But yeah, I really do. See, the thing is, and everyone that I've talked to that's fans of Twin Peaks agrees, it's not just the story, it's not just the characters. Twin Peaks itself is almost as much a character as any of them. The setting is key. That quasi-timeless sort of era that it takes place in. in the very, very beautiful, very picturesque setting, with just a little bit of scary danger off to the corner there, I just love it, and I could just totally get lost in Twin Peaks. Kind of have.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay, I'm going to shut up now. We do this every week, right? I get going, and then I don't want to stop.
Well, I'm just thinking, did we overlook anything else? I saw owls.
Yes. Yeah, we're not a focus there, but there's... See, that's the other thing. Keep in mind, in this setting, owls, in nature, at least where they're at, are almost always omnipresent. Which, when you see, the image of one superimposed on Bob's face, and you're told that the owls are not what they seem, that should be a little bit concerning,
All right, so then we have the one-armed man going a little nuts in the bathroom and running away, right? So that's
right. So Philip Gerard,
Yeah.
who starts to freak out a little bit when he sees the "Have you seen this man?" picture, the composite drawing of Bob, and because it causes him to freak a little bit. He's got to go take his medication, right? He's unable to get it taken before something comes over him, and it seems like, and I don't think this is a big spoiler, I think it's just helping you understand what's going on. Basically the Mike personality within him takes over. So you get to see, if there's a Bob and a Mike, there's a Philip Gerard and some physical representation of Bob in this world. Who is that? There's the real mystery. So you go back to the litany that the giant said, right? 3 have seen him, but not his body, right?
Yes.
Right. So they've all seen Bob with the long hair and the scruffy face and all, but they haven't seen the physical representation, as in the Philip Gerard to Mike. This was the kind of thing that actually took me a number of years to parse out, and I certainly didn't catch in my first view of it. I'm like, not really understanding, and in subsequent reviews I was going back and hearing these lines and thinking them through, only with the knowing what I know now sort of element.
Right.
Well, I am not claiming my ramblings are intelligent, but if you are, I certainly appreciate that. I won't argue it with you, but they are certainly impassioned ramblings, because I really, really do love the lore of Twin Peaks.
All right. And we learned that Dr. Jacoby has a wife.
Yeah.
The more you find out about him, the more you go, what the hell?
The more you know.
Yeah, right? Oh, gosh. And if I'm not mistaken, he's got an associate in New York that he sent some 3D glasses to. Thought you'd like that one.
Are they going to be magic 3D glasses that will decipher something like they're just, I don't know. Hold that thought? Is that a hold that thought?
Well, I think there's another doctor that gets a hold of some 3D glasses and is able to use them in a special way, so yeah. So, that's all I got.
You sure?
And she curtsies. That's so cute. That is so adorable. Nobody curtsies anymore. Girls should do that more often. It's so adorable. Okay, now you're just patronizing me. I really enjoy rewatching this with all of you. all of your commentary. It makes the story so much cleaner. See, that's exactly what I'm going for, JPRPH1. I figure those that have already seen Twin Peaks may not have had all of the experiences I did with talking to people behind the scenes and really a lot of diehard fans that I've spent a good deal of time with. Really dug into these things over 30 years. So I figure I can help you guys out. And if you're new to it, well, I may not be around 30 years from now. So, I'm not going to leave you on your own to figure it out. I'll share it with you as much as I can right now. We were just saying that Twin Peaks is available on, what's that streaming platform? The
Paramount
non-Star Trek
Plus.
channel? Yeah, that's the one.
You can't find Star Trek II: The Wrath of
Sure.
Khan on there.
You can't find anything with Kirk on it, so that's why I say it's the non-Trek channel. But
Paramount Plus that might be renamed something else here before too long, from the sounds of it.
that may actually be, and and I've sent you a couple articles, by the way, Age of Boomer.
We'll take a look.
One actually during the stream.
What?
Yeah, it's a big one.
I was busy trying to figure out the show.
Hell, I was just busy trying to figure out my computer and how to share the damn screen.
Or how there's a certain actor that's been doing movies for Paramount that just signed with Warner Brothers. Yeah. That should tell you a lot.
Things are getting very, very interesting.
They are.
Yeah, didn't he move to an office in near Universal or near Warner Brothers? I don't know, something like that. But
Interesting.
And we know he's got a new movie coming out because we just talked about it on Sunday. So we live in interesting times, my friends.
We do.
Tom Cruise. We're talking about Tom Cruise.
Days of
Yes,
Thunder
we are.
2?
Yes, we are.
Days of Thunder 2. That actually would be a good idea. No. You know what I want to see? Edge of Tomorrow 2. That's what I want.
Well, from what I understand, there might be a sequel to Edge of Tomorrow in the works.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Will they bring back Emily Blunt?
I hope so.
Clearly they don't need her to be the Invisible Woman, or what is it? Sue Storm or whatever.
Sue Storm. Yeah, that was a big. I don't even know. Marvel. I don't even know what they're doing with Marvel right now. I think they're just taking a year off to figure out what they're doing. I guess Echo was our big release this year.
Well, we know we're not getting a second season of She-Hulk.
No. And it looks like the Ray movie has been canceled as well, if those rumors are true.
I was going to say, I think that's still a rumor, and it's probably premised on the fact that they apparently don't have a script.
It's not a rumor though. When Lucasfilm was announcing these things, like Daisy Ridley came out on the stage. I mean, they made these announcements. They did the Rogue One announcement, and they had Patty Jenkins say, "I'm big into planes and whatnot," and it doesn't materialize.
But it is a rumor when they haven't said it's been canceled. They say it's being postponed.
Oh yeah, okay.
But there's other things going on behind the scenes. Like now they're saying looks like they don't have a script. Well, Doomcock's saying that there were 2 scripts, and he's talked about them. But I don't think those 2 things are mutually exclusive. I would say, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, if the rumor, with the report, rumor, whatever you want to say, is true that Stephen Knight has walked away from the production, I mean, he doesn't need them. He's got Peaky Blinders to do.
Yeah, no, that
he can just go back to that.
But it
my, reading the tea leaves, trying to assume all the rumors are true, and keep in mind, sometimes things sound mutually exclusive that aren't. They had 2 scripts. They leaked, in inverted commas, they leaked, and the fan community just blew up. And I think that with everything else that's happened the past year, Disney got cold feet and said, okay, screw those ideas. Now we don't have a script at all. We're definitely postponing this. I mean, it's bad enough they aren't interested in Rey. I think what's probably more likely to happen is they will go ahead with this Mandalorian movie, whatever form that takes. They'll see if it does well, and if it does, they'll shuffle off Grogu to ride around on Palpatine's back.
Oh,
Who knows?
he'll still be an infant too.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I heard maybe, was it Tom Connors or somebody made the speculation that maybe they'll do the Baby Groot thing to him. They'll age him up to like teenager. Maybe make him, speak, which is going to kind of ruin the character. He's cute because he's a baby. You make him a teenager, he's going to be an effing a-hole.
Ryan Johnson
that's
trilogy
actually,
I don't
that
think
one's actually been canceled.
I don't think that was ever actually truly a thing.
Well, whether or not it was, it's been very clear that Disney isn't going ahead with it.
No. He'll live. He still has his Netflix deal.
But, well, I'm not going to go into the last element of it. I'll talk to you guys in the back about it because we're going to definitely be talking about it on Sunday.
All right.
It's actually a big one.
Okay.
So, that's all I got. This time for real.
Sure.
Mhm.
Smart Alec.
All right. Well, once again, I would like to thank everyone who joined us here in the chat. We had, of course, Lady V Elements, Lady Mist. We had Connie Cleary. Nate joined us at the end. JPRPH1. Big Al Presents. Dee Dee Myers. We had Obnoxious and Anonymous who joined us, who has his own Twin Peaks centric channel. So please hop over there and give him a sub if you haven't already. Evelyn Hampton, of course, was with us. And let me see. I believe that was everyone. Indeed. All right.
Cool.
All right. So last words around the table. Netter, what do you have coming up?
Well, let's see. What's today? Today's Tuesday. I had to stop and think because we were off yesterday. So today's Tuesday. So coming up this Thursday on Netter's Network Thursday Things, my guest will be Disney Sheepherder, and he promised that this time he'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I forget, is Saturday me or Big Al?
It's you this week, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, then
I
it's
think
the
it's
Dark Crystal is what we'll be watching.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, I'm also guest hosting on Last Call with Troy Pacelli. So you'll see me there.
All right.
That's all.
Boomer.
Did we lose Boomer?
Oh.
We lost Boomer.
Really?
There he is, he's
Oh.
back.
What?
Okay, there we go. Boomer.
I'm confused. Yes, I'll be on Last Call with Troy Pacelli on Friday and Kiki Geezers on Sunday. Something about Linda Ronstadt, is that correct? Maybe
We're
not.
talking about Linda Ronstadt?
I thought
Linda
that was-
Ronstadt biopic.
No,
Yeah.
not Linda Ronstadt. Sorry. Never mind. I don't know why that name popped.
Yeah, there is a biopic, so we will be talking about
Okay.
it.
Oh,
sure.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be Well, again, we live in interesting times, my friends.
All right. Troy.
Yep. So, basically what those guys said. I'll be Thursday Things with Netter. Friday, Last Call with Troy Pacelli. 9 Central, 10 Eastern on my channel. I don't know. If I don't come up with a topic, I may just do a Friday night free-for-all. We haven't done those in a couple weeks, maybe. So those are the ones that can be really fun because you guys get to come in and lead the discussion however you want by getting really involved in the chat. And I'll focus more on the chat and see what it is you guys want to talk about. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think that's what I want to do Friday. So that's
Cool.
That's maybe what we'll do. And then Saturday, Dark Crystal. There'll be some Cowboys on Sunday and something without a script and, some old fart geeks. And,
Fart geeks.
And the other side of midnight.
Oh. That's the new name of the show, Fart Geeks. Okay.
Old
yes.
fart geeks, yeah, exactly.
Old Fart Geeks, yes. Talking about the Atari 800 computer and the 400. Nice. By the way, I learned that the reason the screen was flat on the Atari 400, what you said was horrible to type on, that was meant to be child-proof. That was the selling point.
Oh, right.
So you don't get the stuff caught in the keys when the kid's pouring his juice on it.
You know what? And let's face it, those of us who have had computers all this time, getting your Dorito, bits and crumbs in the keyboard and stuff. Right? The problem is though that those pads, they didn't have the right action for anyone who types.
No.
Right? Yes, the old-fashioned, clickety-clack typewriters are a far cry from what we're using now, but there's enough sponge to those keys.
Yes.
That you can still type. But those, you really had to press down each button, and over time, the buttons you use the most, the connections would wear away, and then suddenly your D key doesn't work anymore. That's a problem. That's a real problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a problem. Because then you can't type with the D anymore. You got to fill it in with your pen.
Yes. Kane from Star Trek, The Next Generation, and tablets. Okay. Oh, Kane from Star Trek, The Next Generation. Yeah. There was a lot of things in Star Trek that inspired, real-world engineers.
Yeah, Star Trek is always forward-thinking, or used to be at least.
It used to be.
Yes.
Now it's become incredibly regressive.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be nicer to the D. That's what she said.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, that leads things back around to me. Thursday, I will be joining Jedi Bill for Action Theater. This week's movie is going to be True Lies. And of course, I have my weekend update show. That'll be Thursday night. At the moment, that'll be at 11:30, and be touching base with my subscribers, letting everybody know what I'm going to be up to this weekend. One of which is going to be Western Cinema Sunday, where I once again join Jedi Bill, and we are going to be watching the Oxbow incident. And now that that film is in public domain, we might actually get to see it live without getting the channel yeeted. So stay tuned for that. And of course, I do have other videos coming up. I have a review out now for Rebel Moon. So if you didn't get a chance to see that live earlier today, check it out. All right.
Yep.
And of course, we'll be right back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yep.
Right. I'd like to thank once again everybody in the chat, everybody watching on my Twitter feed, everybody who watches the replay. If you are new to the channel and like what you see, please subscribe. Just the road to 500. So I'd really like to get there by, this summer would be pretty cool. And of course, I recently hit 300 subs. So there will be a 300 subscriber celebration coming up soon. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Any last words? Never.
Well, I just wanted to say that the prize that Deleted Scenes won
Oh, yes.
over on Big Al's channel for Big Al Presents for The Rocketeer went out in the mail this morning.
Like a rocket.
Like a rocket.
Ah.
Especially since my sidewalk is slippery with all the ice.
Yeah.
Pew!
Pew pew. I don't know why I thought that. Okay.
Yeah.
As always, I'm asking everyone to make sure that you subscribe to the panel as well as to everyone in the chat. As PJ from Marvel Nation says, together we grow. And if you think you're subbed to somebody, please double check that you are still subscribed to them because YouTube sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my usual ending that everyone knows. We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun, but it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You're our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you're here with us. And that is so encouraging. It means so much to us. So thank you again for being here, and God bless.
And I would like to remind everyone of Toxic Tuesday over on our friend 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. Tonight's movie is Rambo 3. They're about, I'd say probably about 45 minutes or so into the show. So head on over there. We're going to raid Nick Weiser, tell him I sent you, and say hello.
Absolutely.
I like that one line of dialogue from Rambo 3. Ugh! You know when he's...
God, dude.
What? He would get angry a lot in those movies.
Adrian, I'm in the wrong movie.
All right. Well, on that note, that was this week's episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21. Join us next week for episode 4 of season 2. From HQ, good night, take care, stay strong, because this is how we win.